Hello tiny computer camera, how's it going today? I want to make a short video about body image. I've seen a lot of videos recently about body image and they've been awesome. I'll link to some of the ones that I really liked. And I guess it's something that's been really on my mind recently. Anyone that does follow me on Twitter, that's kind of presumptuous. But if you do, you might notice that I put up a lot of posts about the gym. And they're not posts which are, check me out, I'm awesome, or hitting the gym again. There's a lot of self-deprecation there. And not the kind of usual British kind. I think it's going a little bit deeper. At this stage I'm worried about oversharing, and also I wanted to keep my videos upbeat and not whiny, but I kind of feel like they should also be honest. I wanted this channel to make people feel okay about being a little bit broken. So let's get my wow story out the way. I've always been a skinny bloke. As long as I can remember, I've always been very skinny, very slender. And as a teenager, I was very skinny. Less so, slightly less so now. But I am sick of being called skinny. And I'm sick of looking in the mirror and seeing myself as this really skinny, narrow, shouldered kind of person. And it's an insecurity that I've had pretty much as long as I can remember. I've always felt quite ugly in that way. I feel bad making this video because I know people who have struggled terribly with their weight, people who've suffered from eating disorders, people who have gone through hell and back just because of what they see in the mirror, and I know that I'm not one of them. And I don't want to diminish the reality of their horror stories and what they had to fight through to get to where they are now. I do want to have a sense of unity with that and say, maybe it wasn't to the same extent, but we've all felt ugly and it sucks. And even if our stories aren't as dramatic, if we share those, then at least those people who are going through terrible times are going to feel slightly less alone. I don't think we should be competing to have the most miserable life experiences, but I do think we should share the good and the bad. I don't have a solution. I think in all reality we're all going to feel ugly sometimes, and we're going to all feel ugly some days. With that said, I don't have a solution, but as someone who, like most other people, has gone through body image problems and is currently having a little bit of a rough time, here are some tips. Number one, when you are feeling ugly and unattractive, it doesn't really matter how much you try and tell yourself that you are attractive or how much other people try to bolster your self-esteem, because it's all happening in here. What I try to do sometimes to change my perspective is actually think, well, if I am ugly, if I'm skinny and, you know, unattractive, why is that actually important? I mean, society tells me it's important, and the TV does, but really, who gives a crap? And what value is the way I look? The stuff that's really valuable is intangible. And without getting really hippy-dippy, I try and focus more on that. And see that as, when I'm on my deathbed, am I going to say, God, I wish I was more sexy? Or am I going to say, God, I wish I'd done more cool stuff, met more interesting people, made more things, danced more? That was pretty hippy-dippy. And number two, just remember that everyone feels really unattractive sometimes. I spoke to a friend yesterday about how I was feeling about comparing myself to the other guys I see at the gym. And he said to me that he'd spoken to people who were pretty much the ideal body type that I would aspire to. And I would imagine those people would be deliriously happy. They're not. Everybody feels insecure about the way they look. People who are really attractive probably don't worry about it as much, but they still do. You're not alone. It's part of the human condition. Take some solace in that. Number three, can you turn your insecurity in on itself into something positive? So, one of the reasons I'm so driven to go to the gym is because I want to look good. I want to be less skinny. Now, whether I actually achieve that is questionable, but I will be healthier for going there. So the shallow reason that I'm going is to look good, but I'm actually tricking myself to go there to be more healthy. Can you do that? Can you find something positive you can do for a shallow reason when actually the benefits are going to be much deeper? If you got something out of this, that's awesome. If you have something to share, that's even more awesome. If you didn't like it, then just understand that maybe this is a bit of therapy for me. Maybe sharing this with the internet is a way for me to get some stuff off my chest. So just humour me. Anyway, as ever, I do love to hear your feedback, so definitely put something below. I'll put something much more upbeat next week. Hope I didn't scare you off. Goodbye. See you soon.